Hi everyone, it's Gwen from Hummingbird Tarot. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about my recommendations for beginners for what tarot decks they should use. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified every week when I upload a new video. Everybody that you talk to is going to have different favorites, and I have some decks that I recommend for new tarot users. I want to disclose now that I am a fan of the Rider-Waite Smith version of tarot, and there are different versions of tarot out there. This again falls down to personal choice, and if this doesn't resonate with you, then I suggest picking something that works for you. Here is the Smith-Waite tarot deck, and this is the borderless edition. These are the traditional images that were created by Pamela Coleman Smith. If you want to learn the traditional meanings and know what people are talking about, it's one of those things you kind of got to at least be aware of it. And I encourage you, if this deck doesn't call to you, maybe watch some videos on it so you can follow along in conversation is pretty much what I would say. If you want to have an intelligent conversation about tarot with someone, or listen to others having a conversation about tarot, they'll probably refer to things that you'll find in the Rider-Waite Smith deck. So that's why I recommend this one. And here are some of the images. This is a little bit darker version of it, and I would call it tea-stained is what it looks like. But these are some of the images. One of the reasons I recommend this deck is that there is a lot of imagery in it. There's lots of pictures, lots of information that you can draw from. If you're working on the traditional meanings, then there's things in here to help you remember what the traditional meaning is. Or if you're using your intuition, there are a lot of things in here to help trigger your intuition to help you read. So those are some examples in the Smith-Waite tarot deck. Something you might consider would be to get a box set. And this here is the Radiant Rider-Waite book and deck set. Here's what the box looks like if you're buying just the cards. And I'll show you some of the cards from this deck. You see, it's similar. It's the same images that were in that first deck that I showed you, just colored a little differently. And I do like a little bit zoomed in image because it can be easier to see some of the detail. But one of the things I like about this set, and I do recommend this for beginners, is that it has a great book to it. And you can spend some time flipping through the book, and it's got a picture of the card, and then all of this information is about just this one card. And it's in color. So this is the book that came in the box set. Another deck that I recommend is Tarot Made Easy by Barbara Moore. This is what the back of these cards looks like. And these are more cartoony looking than the other ones, but I actually prefer these images to, sometimes people feel that the original images in the Rider-Waite Smith deck are a little outdated and a little flat. And these have more life and more personality in them. And I would say the art of a deck is very personal. It's a very personal choice. So you have to find something that works for you. Next deck I'm going to recommend is probably a little controversial. It's one of Doreen Virtue's decks. There's some controversy around Doreen Virtue. She used to be a part of the tarot community and left the community. There are a lot of people that have strong feelings about it. I wasn't super attached to her. I didn't buy any of her systems. I did have some of her decks, and some of her decks I really like, and some of them I've traded over the years. For me, I still think that some of her decks are really good, and she's taken her name off of the decks, but this particular deck I like because it's a set of tarot cards, and it actually has meaning written right on the card. This is what the box looks like. And I believe you can still find it, but it would not have Doreen's name on it. It would say Radley Valentine only. And you can look for another deck. But I think, once you put the cards out there, this has become my deck. And I'm not worried about any other feelings attached to it, just my energy. And it works for me. But you'll see at the very bottom there's meanings on each of the cards. And this works good for a beginner who doesn't trust their intuition yet, who doesn't necessarily know the traditional meanings of the cards. This is a good deck to use. This next deck is one of my favorites. It's the Everyday Witch, and this is a box set also. So there is a book that comes with this. But I like the deck because there's definitely, you can follow along with what's happening there. So there's a magician with all their tools. Somebody walking away from the table and she's got a bag with her. Maybe she's going on a journey. I should mention, this is what the back of the deck looks like. Here's another card. It's the Devil card with temptation. And I really like the images in here, and you can take a look at that and kind of figure out what's going on in the card. The women are celebrating. Some kind of a battle going on. So here's another deck that I like. And this is the Vision Quest Tarot. Now it doesn't have it on the major arcana, but on the minor arcana, it does have descriptor words. So you'll see that one at the very bottom, it says Insight. And this is what the back of the deck looks like. Life Force. Transformation. Integration. Torment. Chaos. So you could also look for a deck that has descriptors on it like that. And the last deck I'm going to cover is Practical Wisdom Tarot. This is what the back of these look like. And this is using the Radiant Rider-Waite deck that I showed you earlier. And it has the tarot card, and then it also has descriptors. It has a lot of information on the card. So those are my recommendations for tarot decks for beginners. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for stopping by.